Today I'm going to show you how to oil your bolt carrier. Bolt carrier lubrication is very important to the proper functioning of your AR. So we're just going to put this bolt carrier group together after I've cleaned it, and we're going to lubricate it as we go. The lubricant I'm going to be using today is original gun oil. This is a non-toxic, very good gun oil that I use on all my firearms. If you're going to be doing a whole lot of shooting, maybe you're going to a training class or something like that, and you may not have a lot of time to clean your weapon, I would recommend Slip 2000 EWL 30, which is a heavy duty weapon lubricant. First, we're going to put the extractor back onto the bolt. Take a rag, put a couple drops of oil on the rag, and then just kind of wipe down the extractor, especially in the pivot area here. Put a little bit on the whole thing. Dab it off if it looks a little excessive. And before you start putting things together, make sure you get a little oil on this extractor pin. That'll make it easier to get out next time you take your gun apart. Alright, we're going to put the extractor back onto the bolt, make sure the spring is still in place, and you may have had a rubber grommet around this spring. Make sure you put that back as well. Okay, squeeze your extractor pin until you can see clear through that hole. Put your pin in place, and if you have it lined up right, that pin will fall right in there. You might have to pinch it a little, make sure it's in like that on both sides. Now that we got the extractor taken care of, we're going to put a small drop of oil on the bolt, small drop on the gas rings here, and just kind of smear this around just to get it all over this bolt a little bit. Again, just a film. We don't need a lot. We don't want to be excessive here. Just make it a little slippery. Alright, and then very important place to oil is this cam pin. This moves a lot during the function of the gun, as well as you want to be able to get it out easily next time. The entire pin needs a little oil on it. Okay, now we're going to put the bolt back into the carrier. Hold the carrier like this. Put the extractor, which we just put back on there, in approximately the 11 o'clock position. And kind of push it in there all the way. And if that's in about the 11 o'clock position, when you look down into this hole, the hole in the bolt will be lined up with this notch here, because this is where the cam pin needs to drop in. So hold the cam pin like this, horizontally. If it doesn't drop right in, you just have to move this around a little bit till you get that to go in. Once that's in, turn it 90 degrees and pull the bolt out. Now we're going to put the firing pin back in. So before we do that, we want to put a little bit of oil on this cam pin so that's easy to get out next time. Just a little oil on that. Now the firing pin itself, I've heard a lot of people say you don't want to oil this at all. I disagree. You definitely don't want to put too much oil on this because it's in a tight spot. It's very important. You don't want to get it bogged down, but just a little residue of oil on the firing pin. Barely any, but it is a piece of metal. It is sliding in and out, so we want to have a tiny bit of lube on that. Now we're going to drop the firing pin down into the middle. Make sure it goes down just like that. Now you just want to kind of hold that all the way in and then insert the firing pin retaining pin right here. Some ARs I've had a lot of trouble getting that to go in, so you might have to fiddle with that a little, but don't bend it with the pliers. Just put it back in there as best you can. You might have to twist it, turn it a little bit to get it in. Now the bolt carrier is assembled, but before we put it back into the gun, we need to make sure it is lubed in a couple of key places. The key places on the bolt carrier are this ridge here, this ridge here, this ridge here. This is where the bolt carrier sits in the bottom of the gun and slides back and forth. Those are the main contact points inside the gun. This area here, you can see that's worn. That is also an important place to lubricate. That the bolt carrier slides back and forth inside a slot inside the gun, so you need to put lube here. We're basically going to put a little bit of lube all over the carrier, but we definitely want to put a drop on this ridge, this ridge, this ridge, a drop on the carrier key on that side, carrier key on that side, one on the top, and then I just kind of smear them around to make sure there's a good coating on these surfaces. So those are the important points. you can just take any excess and just kind of smear it around, because it's also going to help fight corrosion and rust. Alright, that's it. Now you are ready to put your bolt carrier back into your AR-15. Thank you for watching. Please hit like below if you found this useful. Check out the description for original gun oil and Slip 2000. And thank you for watching.